You're listening to the Mobcast Network.
Welcome to My Star Wars Life, a look at news, reviews, and other happenings from a galaxy far, far away. Here are your hosts, Scotty and JD.
It's Mando Monday!
Woo!
It's just another Mando. Okay, I'm not going to go into the whole thing because A, I don't remember, and B, nobody wants to hear that.
You know what? That's good because I was also thinking of the other one, Mando Monday, but I did not.
There's
also
been so many versions.
I have to go back. I mean, and find the.
We have to go back
lyrics.
and. This is the first Mando Monday of the year, the first Mando Monday on video. So we, 2022, we're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. I'm your Native American pop culture spirit guide, Scotty. I'm joined by, as always, our Jedi Master
JD. Hello.
And as normal, the dent in Boba Fett's crotch, the man who puts men into Mendos. Koalas is on assignment.
We sent him to Tatooine.
Yeah.
He's going for a one-on-one with Finn.
Yeah, right.
Fennec. Shan.
Yeah.
I just threw it all together and made Finn.
Made words. Words. But hanging out in the co-pilot slot here, we've got Padawan Gelman.
Hello there.
I like it.
Works.
It is a new year, and we have new Star Wars content.
By like a day.
Yeah.
But sure, whatever.
Well, 3 tomorrow.
That's true. But and yesterday, or the day we were recording, is my brother's birthday. So happy birthday, Patrick, who does not watch this show.
Here's to you, Patrick.
It's also the first Mando Monday that's not about Din Djarin.
Yeah, it's the first Mando Monday.
Well, now it wasn't. Now it is.
Now it is, but
we are now entering the Book of Boba Fett as the end of Season 2 Mandalorian teased up. Chapter 1, Stranger in a Strange Land. Written by Jon Favreau, directed by Robert Rodriguez.
If episode 2 isn't Dylan Berlin, I'm going to be very upset.
there's actually
Only Billy Joel fans
Get that. It's a good one.
people are thinking that all the names though will be based on like different sci-fi novels that are because it's Stranger in a Strange Land, isn't?
Heinlein.
Yeah.
Heinlein,
Yeah.
yeah. And then so we'll
I
get.
think it's Heinlein.
I think
Yeah,
so too.
you're right.
So we'll get like Starship Troopers sometimes.
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
That'd be a cool name.
Like stormtroopers coming down in a dropship.
The first movie of 2022 I watched was Starship Troopers.
Was it?
I rang in the new year with Starship Troopers. No particular reason why. Turned out, it's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah.
Holds up, loved it.
Oh, I
Absolutely
love it.
loved
Yeah,
it.
it's so good.
It's so good.
So bad good.
But it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
So last time you told me that, I didn't ask this, but did you set it to where like at a certain point at midnight something happened?
We started it after the movie after midnight.
Oh, okay.
So.
I know some people were doing Star Wars and setting it up at certain points.
Yeah, a lot of times it's when the Death Star blows up. You can.
I saw on TikTok one group that set it up. They watched Revenge of the Sith, and I think it was by accident. But at midnight is when Master Skywalker.
No.
And at midnight, the lightsaber ignited.
At midnight, the best acting in that movie happens. Yeah.
Speaking of acting. The Book of Boba Fett stars Tamora Morrison returning as Boba Fett, has Ming-Na Wen returning as Fennec Shand, and then here's a whole bunch of new people.
Okay.
So we have David Pasquesi as Mok Shai's Major Domo.
You kiss your mother with that mouth?
I do. Matt Berry as the voice of UK2-B, but if you look at the subtitles, it calls him AD8.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to he looks like AD8. It says he's AD8. The credits are just weird on it. But because AD8 was in the torture chamber in Jabba's palace, so he's the one torturing the Gonk droid in Jedi. And so, which makes the difference. Why do droids have pain sensors? But that's okay.
Yeah.
Matt Berry, though, is also on What We Do in Shadows. What We Do in the Shadows. And he's great. Moving on, we have Jennifer Beals from Flashdance herself.
Do we really?
Yeah.
Who's she?
She's Garza Fwip, the owner of the cantina they go to.
Was that really?
Yes.
That's Jennifer Beals.
Wow.
Who, fun fact, did not know what she was in. Had no idea what a Boba Fett was. She just got hired on it. She's like, oh, it's Star Wars. So she had no idea. She's
awesome.
She's
perfect.
It's like, it's one of the best things I've read about her. She's like, yeah, I did this thing and didn't know about any of it.
Okay.
Wesley Kimmel as the Tusken Kid. Wesley Kimmel is Jimmy Kimmel's nephew.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
His father is a director, and Wesley's been in a bunch of stuff, a lot of stuff on Jimmy Kimmel. But yeah, I was like, when I saw the name, I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Surely. So Disney's keeping it in the family.
Yeah.
So yeah. Xavier Jimenez as the Tusken Chief. Xavier was also a Tusken in the last season of Mandalorian.
Okay.
So he's been in 2 premieres. Joanna Bennett is the Tusken Warrior, the lady one, and she is a stunt actress, and mostly a lot of Gal Gadot stuff. So she's Wonder Woman and lots of things.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So she's got some
So
cred.
yeah.
She's got some credit.
So no wonder she whooped up on 100-year-old
Yeah.
Boba Fett's
Right.
ass.
And then Barry Lowen as Garfalaquax, who is the Aqualish. Now, why did I go that deep on the...
I don't remember seeing him.
So the Aqualish is the second guy that...
Oh, yeah, I guess at the very beginning.
He gives him the helmet full of money.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And when they're
Okay.
doing
Yeah.
their whole tribute thing. No, he's the first one. The Aqualish is the first one.
Yeah,
Then
because then the second guy is Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, it's Robert Rodriguez is the Trandoshan.
Yeah, his it's weird. I work for that guy.
Yeah, and so the Aqualish is the first one. But the reason why I went that deep and brought him up, Barry Lowen also played the Mandalorian Din Djarin. He's one of the guys who played Din Djarin in the first 2
So
seasons.
you were super wrong.
So
We are talking about him. He is in this.
so there you go. Are you ready to get into this?
Sure.
Yeah.
Act 1! Our story begins where we left Boba Fett in Season 2 of The Mandalorian on Tatooine, inside what was once Jabba's palace. Cut to a back-to-pod where Boba Fett is healing and dreaming. Dreaming of Kamino. Dreaming of his father's Jango death, and dreaming of how he escaped his own nightmarish end in the belly of a Sarlacc. Stuck inside the creature's gullet to be slowly digested, as C-3PO puts it, for 1,000 years. Fett awakens, assesses his situation, sees a stormtrooper who has had a run-in with a Sarlacc earlier. The bounty hunter smashes the trooper's helmet, takes his respirator hose, plugs into his own helmet, adding to his own fading air, then uses his flamethrowers to help him escape into the sands around the great pit of Carkoon with the wreckage of Jabba's sail barge, the Katana. Weakened by his escape, he has his armor taken by Jawas, who just punk his ass, and is captured by sand people. Like, his day is not getting worse. Fett is dragged through the sand, and they've been made prisoner inside the Sand People's camp, where he is beaten and teased by the tribe's children until he's knocked unconscious. When he awakes, he finds a Rodian by him who isn't interested in escaping. Fett is, however, and cuts his bonds with the aid of a Tusken Mastiff, who serves as watchdog. Fett escapes into the desert, but is tracked down by the Sand People, who fight him, then bring him back to the camp. Act 2. Fennec Shand awakens Fett from his back-to-pod and informs him that important people of the area have come to pay tribute. He suits up and goes to the throne room where him and Fennec welcome various dignitaries from the area who bring gifts of credits and Wookiee skin. Ew. It's the first time I've seen a skinned Wookiee, and I've heard Trandoshans do that, and it's kind of a neat highlight.
It was big in Legends.
Yeah, it's a big,
and Boba Fett has
braided,
some of it.
Yeah, braided ones. The mayor of Mos Espa sends his major domo, who, while polite, doesn't bring a gift for the new crime lord, but expects a tribute for the mayor. Fett allows the major domo to have his life as tribute. 2 Gamorrean guards who serve Jabba and then Bib Fortuna after stay behind, and while AD-8 suggests torturing them to prove Fett's fierceness to all that oppose him, Fett decides to spare them in exchange for their continued service. Fennec thinks this is a bad idea.
Foreshadowing.
Fennec and 2 Gamorreans walk through Mos Espa, and Fennec tries to explain to her boss all the things that he is doing wrong. And the people who won't respect him, and because he doesn't show power. Fett wants to do some things differently. They visit the cantina run by the Twilight Garza Whip, who also offers to hose down the Gamorreans and clean his helmets, which is not a euphemism. He declines the hosing down, but it does accept the helmet service, which probably is a euphemism. Garza Whip seems okay with the change of leadership and wishes Fett well, and says he's always welcome to stay, as this is his place now. Fett and Shan's helmets are returned to them, filled with credits. As they leave, Fett explains to Shran that he wants to rule by respect since Jabba ruled by fear. Then they're attacked by Cobra Night Creepers. If you don't know what that is, I'm going to show a picture. Or what I like to call Star Wars ninjas. And there's a fight that ends with Fett wounded and needing to get back to his Bactapod. Shran parkour chasing the ninjas through the Mos Espa and finally capturing one.
I'm very excited now, though, for Assassin's Creed 23. Mos Eisley.
Also, the Gamorreans proven their loyalty.
Yeah, that was my foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Act 3, the Gamorreans get Fett to his pod, and while he heals, he dreams of his time with the Sand People. A Tusken youth takes Fett and the Rodian out to hunt for water in the form of a gourd that is buried in the sand. Fett and the Rodian exchange words about how they could escape, but the Rodian doesn't seem interested and accidentally wakes a creature straight out of Clash of the Titans.
Yep.
A 6-armed bipedal reptile beast who isn't happy to be up. Fett and the creature fight after a small brawl. Fett pulls a Leia, jumps on the creature's back, and chokes the ever-living force out of it.
I'm ready for Boba Fett in the next Mortal Kombat.
Right. The Tusken boy and Fett return to the camp where the Tusken boy is lauded as a hero, and the Tusken chief offers Fett a water gourd as a sign of respect. Credits.
All right.
Let's get into this.
Yes.
I've already spoken a lot, so what are your thoughts?
I want to know how long he was in the pit.
Oh.
I would say less than a day.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, hours.
I feel like, because if he's in there even longer, he would look like that stormtrooper.
But if it slowly dissolves over the course of 1,000 years, that stormtrooper had to have been in there probably a couple weeks because he only had a couple parts of his armor dissolved.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was obviously working. You could see it was smoking and steaming and hissing.
Like, it was working enough that he was able to get
but he's
the
also
air
in
still.
Beskar.
Yeah.
For the most part. But it hadn't started going through his bodysuit.
Right.
So I don't think it's months, but I don't think it's a day.
Yeah.
Because I think it has plenty of time to dissolve him.
Yeah.
Because he was running out of air. So if we know how much air he can contain, that can give us an idea.
Yeah.
Right.
I guess the disconnect for me, I mean, don't get me wrong. Overall, I enjoyed the episode.
Yeah.
It was a great chapter 1. But my disconnect was Tamura's old.
Mm-hmm.
His body type is different than
He's
Bullock or whoever went in.
Yeah.
And so...
He definitely feels older
Dickie
than
Beers.
he would be.
Huh?
Dickie Beers, I think, is the one who fell in.
But
yeah.
It seemed odd.
Yeah. I feel like Daniel Logan would have been great for the flashbacks.
And he's in great shape for his, like, how old he is. I'm not...
Right.
A, I can't talk, and B, like, I'm not just, like, body shaming or anything. It just felt odd when he came out. For me.
I got
when he got out and he sort of shook a little.
Yeah.
And I was like... You could have had a body double then and had something happen where he's in a back to tank for a year or two, and changed it that way. I don't know. I'm just being weird and fussy.
Yeah.
That's all.
Well, Boba Fett has to go off and do some dances with wolves so that way he can be nicer.
Yeah.
Bad.
It's
another Mandalorian that has to be with them, It's weird. Because Din Djarin did the same sort of thing. It's kind of funny that they're doing that twice.
Well, we don't know if Din Djarin did that.
He just knows how to respect
But
them.
I
guess, but
I don't know if he's like hung out with them a lot.
No, but it seems weird that they're kind of pulling that same storyline.
I don't think it's the same storyline. I mean, that would be like almost saying like you've got stormtroopers in it. It's the same storyline because there's stormtroopers in it, and it's like it's weird.
And I know you were about to say that, but what about this though? What if, as we just talked about during Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2, Sand People Well, it's okay. So the other day we said Tusken Raiders. You're like, that's derogatory.
So,
but is that?
I feel
Sand
like
people?
I think Sand People's the more racist one.
No. Okay, so I didn't want to get into this now, but I will.
well, we can wait.
Yeah.
But let's table it because I have a whole section in my notes called Tuscan or Sand People or Other.
Okay.
Because
Okay, we'll come back to it.
So
because that table is.
We'll
the
circle-
native population
back.
of Tatooine.
yes.
Okay. When we saw them in Mandalorian.
I think for this, I think that for this, Sand People will be acceptable.
Okay.
Okay.
Tuscan, I mean, they are credited as Tuscans.
Right.
Yeah.
But
So-
not the Raider part.
The Raider, they're just all Tuscan
Tuscans,
Warriors,
yeah.
Tuscan
Okay.
Child,
So the
Tuscan Chief.
Tuscans.
Right.
There we
Okay.
go.
So, we found out during Mandalorian season 1 and 2, they are a Native American allegory.
Right.
Right.
They've become this Native
They have
American
become.
And similar
it's a
to
Western.
And we also know that
because you need Indians in a restaurant.
And yeah.
So what if they're now? I mean, I can sort of see the Dances with Wolves.
Absolutely.
If Mandalorians are cowboys, or then we
Right.
have our natives.
yes.
Right.
And they're fighting. Like
Yep.
they're not. There's not a history of fighting.
No.
But they have conflict, and they kick Boba's ass.
Yeah.
I mean, the kid doesn't.
No.
but Mama whips his ass.
Also, in defense of Fett, I mean, he just got out of a Sarlacc.
Yeah.
and
Right, and I'm
dragged
sure
like
I mean,
he also got his butt
piss
whooped by
is jello
the
at
fact
this
that
point. He's so
the fact
dehydrated.
Right,
that the
so-
fact that Jawas were able to beat him.
I was like,
Jawas didn't even like. I
The
think
Jawas didn't do this.
He
and
was
knocked him to-
delirious.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jawas were like, "Hey, we want that." Jawas don't care about anything. Can we talk about that? Like they do not.
I know.
Jawas I saw
Like-
a meme the other day, yesterday maybe today, but it was like we all thought that the Jawas were the good ones and the Tuscans were bad. No, Jawas are dicks.
Yeah, like they see something. If nobody's there to claim property on it, and even if they are,
Yeah.
they're taking it. They're like, "Oh, a ship that's parked here and nobody's around. Oh, cool. Well, we're just gonna strip it."
I was just one dude. He's knocked out. We'll just take his shit.
He's not dead. We're not going to kill him.
But we're gonna take it.
We're taking his stuff.
Taking his stuff. Gotta have the stuff.
But
Stupid
the
Jawas.
Tuscans are very like. We also know that they're based on the characters from Dune, the natives in Dune.
Yeah,
as well.
the Fremen.
The Fremen, which is why water is very important and why they're like use water in the same sort of ways, like when they feed Boba that bug. That is apparently really powerful. That he gets up immediately and is like, "Okay, I can walk now."
Superbug.
Super bug.
Goo.
Yeah, the super bug goo.
Slimy yet satisfying.
Nice. I didn't mind the. I actually didn't think about the Tamora being like differently shaped than
Yeah.
Beer's going, and it never.
No, it didn't.
Until you
fit
mention
in,
it
yeah.
now,
Yeah.
I didn't. It
What
didn't
was
dawn on
weirder to me was like the age thing, because like I get that it's not that like when he comes out of the pit, it's not going to be that much later than when we're at in the
Right.
story. But I always imagined him younger, closer to Daniel Logan's age than when he
Right.
falls in, and not.
I'm also now like, it's like maybe it's like a Ewan McGregor thing where it's like just being near Tatooine just makes you old.
Yeah.
It's fair. And
Yeah.
I mean, he was exposed to digestive juices.
Yeah.
Right.
Wind chappingness.
and who knows how much got through the armor? Because we're assuming none, but
Right.
who
I
knows?
mean, he's in the Bacta for a reason. Like he
Right.
sleeps in the Bacta.
Right.
He's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's nighttime.
But when you see him, like when you first see him, he is scarred.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
scarring.
He's scarred
and
all
that
over.
and he's been a bounty hunter for X amount of years.
yeah, that could be a pre-existing condition too.
Right.
We
He's
don't
just
know.
right. He's a dude who just wants to retire, man.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to be a crime lord, but I'm going to be a nice crime lord, so that way I can just
I just
back.
need to afford Bacta.
I just like it. I mean, I really wanted him when he climbed out of the pit was just like, I'm just getting too old for this shit. Right.
Because he's what? So
So
Boba in Attack of the Clones was 7?
10.
10.
Was he 10?
I would
Yep.
say 10.
And he was aging normally.
Yes, he's aged normally.
So he was
So-
10 in Attack of the Clones.
So between Attack of the Clones and
So
Revenge
they're
is what
3 years.
So 13.
Yep, and then add on top of that the 19 years
So-
19 years.
for between 3 and 4.
Uh-huh.
So that's
That's
13 plus
29,
Look at all
19.
those
32.
math really
Huh?
hard.
32.
32.
We're
So
mathing
30.
hard.
So 32 at New Hope. So when we see him on
And Empire.
When we see him in Tatooine.
Oh yeah,
he's 32.
Yeah, 32. Yep.
In
And then,
special edition.
Yeah,
Okay.
in the special. Yeah. The
There is
canon-
no other edition.
Well, it's the canon. It's the canon,
It's canon.
story. and then when we see him again, it's a year late. No,
3 years later.
3 years later.
3 years later.
Empire's 3 years.
The Empire's
it's
3
3
years. So he is 35.
Yep.
So 37
And-
in Jedi because it's 2.
I thought it's 1.
Is it 1?
Yeah, it's 1.
It's the timeline's a little funky, especially now with
Yeah.
the comic.
So
So 36.
And then 541.
Yeah.
5 for what?
5 years between Jedi now.
6.
But he-
6.
Yeah, but at the beginning of the episode, if it's a day or two later
Yeah.
than return.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
in the
He's
flashback,
30
yeah,
he's
in
36,
in the
37.
36, 37.
Yeah.
So, and now he's 41. Okay.
yeah.
So he's younger than me.
He's only
Us.
he's
Right.
only 10 years older than me.
First of all, Padawan.
That's not, but it's not a lot. Is what I'm getting at. It's what I'm getting at is it's.
I
Not,
understood.
Yeah.
I got it.
I'm insulted.
Grandpa's hurt.
yeah.
You're a month older. I'm just saying.
But I wasn't insulting
Yeah.
Grandpa. I
Wait, no. Yeah, August.
Yeah.
I am a month.
I always forget it's one or young one.
Yeah.
month
I'm
or
the
older.
24th, and you're the
26.
26. So
Yeah.
I'm like 32 days old.
Right. But like, so he's gone through some stuff.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
Tamora Morrison's what, in his 50s.
Yeah. That sounds right. As producer, I'll.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Why am I doing this?
Yeah, you
I'm not going to take your job,
Right.
Gelman.
Check the holo records.
61.
61. So he's playing 20 years older. Ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If from when
Yeah.
the current timeline. So we have to assume Boba's gone through some stuff.
Yeah.
He looks like that at
Yeah,
40.
we're just gonna.
Because I'm just going to round and say this whole thing happens around
Yeah,
when he's
40-ish.
Right.
Yeah.
Bruh. And whether it's... Is it clone decay? Because that could be a thing.
Yeah. Who knows? Because we know the Kaminoan technology was not perfect.
Right. So maybe there's their Ghost of the Machine later.
Yeah.
Their MacGuffin. Oh, yeah, no, it's clone technology.
Yeah.
He's just... And that's why he has to stand back to it, maybe.
That and battle scars because he's fought Wookiees before.
Maybe he has to go hunt down Omega to get her parts. He's like, those will match.
Well, in the one of the
just making
teasers, there's a
She doesn't look like Omega though, because whoever Omega would look like Tamura a little bit because direct clone.
With wicked blonde hair.
Yeah.
who knows? She reminds me of Afra though, like a non-Asian Afra. So
Yeah.
I'm curious of what they're.
Speaking of, I guess,
Betha.
yeah.
Afra, Betha, Zeta.
Speaking of, I guess, casting and seeing stuff. So this is what the Tusken leader looks like underneath
Oh, my God.
all that. And so people are immediately going. So obviously, people are picking into legends and trying to come up with theories. Also, because that leader.
Real quick. That's the dude version of Enfys Nest, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's the dude version of Infamous.
That's like Enfys Nest's older brother. Damn, that looks just like
Yeah.
they could be related. That's you got to send me
And-
this picture so I can put it out.
Yeah, I'll send it to you.
because I got to put because no one will know what
Okay,
I'm talking
so,
about.
so you think that's what's
so,
his name?
So people are
Craig?
thinking it's a shard.
Yeah.
A shard.
Oh man, they pull that stuff in there. Yeah, I'm in.
Because he immediately is like, oh, I respect you because I know that was you that killed that thing, even though this kid over here is
He's not doing that.
he's not doing that. And he's like, I respect that because and people are thinking, well, maybe he comes from a similar background where he had to earn the respect in a same way, or
Right. So I didn't get the sense. I thought the kid absolutely
the kid was taking credit. He was
talking about his part more than it was,
Mhm.
but I think he absolutely gave Boba some credit.
No, that's why I
Like,
think
because he was pointing
Yeah.
at him, and
yeah, but I think the kid was taking the heavy
I think
credit.
he was just excited.
Yeah.
This head is as big as me, yo! And he Boba it.
Yeah.
Or he Jabba it.
Yeah.
So I like the episode a lot.
Okay.
I do have some criticisms. One of them was I got through the opening and was like, "Oh, great! We're not going to have a kid. It's going to be awesome." And not that I'm against kids, but good. Look, Dave, you got Ezra, you got Ahsoka, you got the Grogu, you got Omega, and now it's like, "Oh, we're going to be like." And then there's this Tusken kid shows up in the first episode. I'm like, brah.
Now you got Jimmy Kittle's nephew.
Right, and like, brah. Is he gonna be on the like? He's gonna just show up, be like, "What's up, hey?"
Yeah.
I'm cute merchandising and just. But
It's hard to make those masks cute.
No, yeah.
I tell you, the I want the Chiefs one. I love the new design.
That outfit was really cool.
I was like, I'm native, man. I fully embraced this Tuscan thing.
Yeah.
Like Tuscans were like, we're gonna push them to the top of like the things that Scotty likes about Star Wars because they've doubled down on this allegory.
Yeah.
And it's respectful.
Yeah, it's very respectful.
And it like makes me feel a badass because my complaint, I've made the complaint on both, not really a complaint, but I've made the observation on the show before that is that we're never going to get natives in Star Wars because doesn't seem like a Star Wars kind of thing to have
Yeah.
Indians and like then forever would hold my beer
Right.
and just
would-
open my.
you got twice.
Yeah.
'Cause you
Right,
got,
right.
You got the Tuscans,
Yeah.
and then you got that the widow.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm digging it.
Now,
So.
I would love to see that type of representation with the Gungans because they're natives in a similar way too.
They are
And
very
it'd
much so.
be interesting to see that take.
Gungans, I think need a
They need a kind of a fresh slate of like, audience perspective.
right a new look.
Okay.
Because the Naboos
I will
came in
be
and
on
colonized.
If they do it all in the Gungan language, and we don't have to hear the dumb accent,
No. Yeah. Yeah.
like
yeah, that would be
so bombast.
racist.
It is. It is. And that's why I think it needs. That's why I'm thinking it needs to be kind of
But
reclaimed and kind of.
so were the Nemoidians.
Yeah.
I mean, like all of the accents. I understand that it's very hard.
Yeah.
To make up an alien accent that doesn't take from
Real world.
something as an American with Awisi
the
no
Celestians
accents.
is like Ethiopian or some
It's Kenyan, I think.
Kenyan, one of those languages, and it was like it seems fine to me, and then they're like, oh, no, we got this, and so it's just
Yeah.
the problematic and
Yeah.
Phantom Menace definitely
Phantom Menace is probably the biggest. Yeah.
It just
big swing and a miss there, buddy.
Yeah. It also didn't help that that in the case of Nemoidians, it was white guys that were just.
right. Just I mean, it was the eight.
Even Gungan's Boss Nass is
Yeah.
white dude. For,
Yeah. Whereas at least Jar Jar, you had Ahmed Best. That
Right.
was, and a lot of the ideas from according to interviews, Ahmed was the one who brought a lot of the ideas to the table.
Yeah.
So, but in the case of the Nemoidians, it's not great.
It's not,
and then
not the greatest.
and then they kind of reclaim it with Attack of the Clones because then you get like George Takei
And I'm thinking about it. I mean, I don't know if I would even classify Gungans as native people.
well, they are because they're from Naboo, and then the Naboo came in and colonized.
as a native to the species.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Native as a species.
Yeah.
But I mean, they have cities.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
They're a population.
They're a population, and
right.
they're native to Naboo. But I think it's different because while the Tuscans are native to Tatooine, they are still
They're more of a native
Nomadic? Like-
indigenous tribes. Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah, the Gungans are definitely African-based tribes, and at least the way George kind of presents them. Whether that's
Get a
good or bad, the
Caribbean
way he
feel
does it,
out of
yeah.
'em.
Yeah.
Whether that's good or bad, the way he presented them, that's a different discussion.
Man, it got
Yeah.
deep.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna get deeper.
Yeah.
for a little
Like,
bit.
can't remember the name of the city.
Uh,
Like the Gungan city.
Oh,
I think it's just
Uda Gunga.
Yeah,
Uda
I was
Gunga,
like,
yeah.
it got deep. Like Gungan
Uda
City.
yeah.
Because
And
all I
then-
could think of was Theed,
yeah.
and I was like, that's not right.
What
That's
I
on the
like,
surface.
Theed would be
Yeah.
offensive.
so what I kind of like seeing,
Theed's on the surface.
yeah, Theed's the surface. Theed's the
Right.
Yeah, Theed's
Not
the
deep.
Naboo.
I said otherwise when Theed. Never mind.
Yeah.
I said Theed would be offensive if you were trying to name a Gungan
yeah,
city.
yes,
and you were like,
yes.
no, Theed. And
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
no, that's the white people city.
Yeah. But going back to stuff that I liked in the that we liked in the episode, I guess.
Yeah.
I really liked going back to Mos Espa because Phantom Menace was like the one and only time that we've truly visited. We visited a little bit in Attack of the Clones, but not like it's very brief. He's
So,
like,
have you noticed with both Mos Espa and Mos Eisley, it's very clean now in Tatooine?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, once the Empire got gone, they were like, whoa, look, sanitation.
Right. Sanitation.
Yeah, sanitation. Well, also now there's no.
Ba-dum-bum-tsh.
Well, also now there's no Jabba the Hutt, so like there's less slime trafficking up the.
Well, he was carried on a litter.
Yeah.
So
Is it like your horses though in Red Dead then that
Yes,
he's just
it
kind of
must
dropping
be.
as they go?
Gamorreans just drop as they go.
here's what my revelation in that I guess I never really thought about until this episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, original trilogy, the only thing we see at Tatooine is Mos Eisley.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then Return of the Jedi, we have Jabba's palace.
Right.
Yep.
I assumed it was outside of Mos Eisley.
Right.
But
Because we have,
yeah.
and then in Mos Eisley, yes, Jabba's there.
Yeah.
But in my head, his palace is still near Mos
Which
Eisley,
I
not Espa.
and I think based on the flashback, it's not even close to either of those. I think it's close to Anchorhead
right.
because Boba mentions Anchorhead to the Rodian. He's like, "Hey, my ship's over in Anchorhead,"
Yeah,
which
so-
tells me that he parked the ship in Anchorhead, went to Jabba's palace, and then all the chaos happened in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, it's interesting because I was like, I guess it does make sense that his palace is closer to Mos Espa.
Yeah,
if that's where the Boonta Eve race he's going to go watch is.
Yeah.
he doesn't want to go all the way over
And
there.
Anchorhead's the major spaceport anyway.
Yeah,
so
it's a major spaceport, yeah.
Anyway, so I don't.
So
I mean,
maybe
it makes
that's
sense.
like if maybe Anchorhead's the L.A., whereas these two are the Bergs. Right?
Yeah.
the outer lying suburbs.
But Espa's like the closer one to his palace,
Hold on.
and
I'm
yeah.
gonna produce some stuff.
I used to play Star Wars Galaxies, and I used to know the map. I don't know
I
it anymore.
cannot remember.
But
Also, the map's probably different.
probably so.
Yeah, because now, I guess we'd have to ask like Filoni and them what geographically everything looks like. Need a new Atlas book,
Like
Hidalgo. Give us more Atlas books. I like those.
I do too. Pablo's been on chatter about this stuff too. He's the one who talked about 88
Mm-hmm.
and then was like, he didn't realize that was a spoiler. And he's like, it's in the. People got onto him for spoiling it. I was like, it's in the subtitles, but in the captions.
Yeah.
So.
Apparently, they don't have a name for the creature yet because in the captions it just says sand creature.
Yeah, it doesn't. There's no one.
Which?
For the
Goro.
Goro-looking monster.
Oh, okay. I was like, no, it was a massive.
Yeah.
And the masses are from
Yeah.
episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like the Tuscan design in 2 too as well. I just like Tuscans.
Yeah. I kind of like that Boba Fett's show is basically Arrow though. He's getting all these flashbacks. Well, are we gonna get a 5-year journey about like how Boba Fett like bettered himself?
I'm okay with this. Okay, so it says you keep saying he bettered himself, but there's not enough canon evidence where he was actually he's just a dude.
I'd say War of the Bounty Hunters proves he's a terrible guy.
I gotta still read that. I'll table that till next week. I will wide read
This one's
between
all in
them.
Arabic. Hold on.
Oh, you
yeah.
dick!
Oh no, it's not. It's just in the in the font.
Oh yeah.
Tanner's-
I'm curious what he's looking up.
He's looking at a map of Tatooine.
Oh okay.
Yeah, but it's like so. The first one was basically Episode 4's map of Tatooine. 'cause
Oh,
it had,
okay.
Lars camp or Lars home. And
Yeah.
Obi-Wan's hut and Mos Eisley, but no
Yeah.
Tashi
Real quick,
Station. No
Real quick.
nothing.
So no one moved into the Mars homestead until Rey shows up at the end.
And I also don't think she even lived there. That lady. I think she was just walking by. And,
right. That's me
She's
too.
like, nobody's gonna know this is where I buried this.
It's like there's a free house in Tatooine no one's staying at. They're just like
it's cursed because like
so
many bad things have happened. Like the years ago, this lady got kidnapped by the Tuscans,
Right.
And then like decades after that, these people got killed by the stormtroopers.
And then, but everything else has been good. Maybe that's what it is. It's like a murder house, and it's like
Yeah,
there's
and nobody wants it.
right. And since there's no podcasting, so no one can do murder podcasts and be like, I want to move into this house. So
I wonder if anybody's no, because we know what happened. I guess in canon we know what happened to the Ben homestead that got destroyed.
they destroyed it.
Crap, I need
Boba
scale.
and Luke got into a fight inside of it, and
Nice.
yeah, because Luke was looking for some clues about being a Jedi, and he found Obi-Wan's journal there.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And Boba Fett tracked him down there, and that's where Boba Fett learned his name was Skywalker.
Walker, yeah, I had forgotten about that comic series.
Yeah, and that's when Vader learned.
And when Vader finds out, he nearly destroys a Star Destroyer. Which
Yeah,
is one of
because
my
he's
favorites.
like, the Emperor lied to me.
and he's not surprised.
No. Oh man.
I love the Gamorreans.
Yeah, I love their when they come in to save the day. They just go wham, like full on wrestling moves.
They do,
in.
and then the one he just pulls out that knife and just guts that guy, and just like
Okay. So in this map, which I don't know when it is.
Yeah.
Right, when this is set. So, real quick. There is the Lars's homestead.
okay.
Okay? There's Anchorhead. They're very close to Anchorhead.
Yeah, I mean, I gather that.
I always assumed they were like
They're
kind of
closer
near.
to Anchorhead than they are to Mos Eisley. Because Mos Eisley is number 9 right there. Jabba's palace, where'd it go? Is up here.
Mhm.
So, Mos Espa is not even on this map.
I know they did a recent atlas,
But this also has things
but-
like Ulbrich Compound, Bestine Provincial Capital, Haunter's Gorge, the Rumbles, Roya Rift, Orin Galt's Home, Pika Oasis.
Where's Becker's Canyon?
It's not in here. Well, it is, I bet, if I get deep into this.
Because you got to fly the needle through the Becker's Canyon and shoot some wop rants.
Okay, so I found the most recent atlas,
We are nerds.
and so according
Oh, wait.
to
I
this,
found a different one.
according to the most recent atlas, because I remember seeing that book.
Yeah, I've got it. Actually, I think I have it over there.
And so Jabba's palace is like south, west.
Yeah, southwest.
And then Mos Espa is like northwest.
Yep.
Mos Eisley is like southeast.
Yep.
And then you have all the other stuff kind of in the middle and on the edges beyond. And the Starlight Pit is northeast a little bit, like a little bit of near Mos Eisley.
Okay, so this one actually has Jabba's palace in a different spot. So we've got, but Mos Eisley and Espa at the same spot, right?
Yeah.
So down here and up here, respectively.
Mhm.
But it's got Bestine, which I said was that regional province, or basically
Yeah.
the capital of the area. Anchorhead's tiny dot compared to it, so it might just be a spaceport.
Yeah, it's
It's very much like
Jabba's
this is our
palace
port
is way
town.
over here now, like in this bottom left corner. So it is still a little. It's about equidistant between Espa and Eisley.
Yeah.
And
I'd argue on this map, they're pretty much equal distance.
okay, so maybe that's just where they went first,
Yep.
Yep.
because he didn't want to deal with a wretched hive of scum and villainy.
Yeah.
He just wanted to deal with
Pod racing and
pod racing and
Well, I mean, it doesn't say
Watto's homeless ass.
I
and a
always
casino,
assume, I always
which is
assume-
really doing well. Like Jennifer's casino is doing well.
well, because casinos are great.
Yeah.
And having working for one, they are great and
Yeah.
profitable.
Yeah, the Star Tours droid is doing a great job as the dealer.
I saw the R3 there, and I was like, "Yeah, what's up, buddy?" I'm trying to think what else. I mean, I want to talk about how terrible Fett is at being a crime lord.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I think this is probably my favorite part of the entire show is that he's just really bad at it. And so in his mind, I think it's, well, I'm the crime lord. They should just do things for me, right?
And it's like no, you gotta
And so
make them do
and
things.
it works out first with the Aquila. She gives him the helmet for the money. And then the Trandoshan shows up with the Wookiee skin. And then, of course, the Major Domo, who looks like Crispin Glover, who's like, yeah, about that. When you paying us? And so I can't wait for that showdown.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in which we kind of know what the mayor looks like because he's appeared in the trailers. It's the Athorian looking.
Oh, he's the Athorian?
Yeah.
Ah, sweet.
And
It used to be so peaceful.
And that's Robert Rodriguez as well, because in the trailer, that's his voice.
Oh, nice. So I
And-
guess we'll get that next episode.
Yeah.
So I had one. I
Yeah.
know why they don't do things, because otherwise it would have altered the trajectory of the story.
Yep.
Mhm.
But you have the Assassin's Creed 27 that have
Yeah.
put them in a circle.
Which I think the mayor sent them.
Oh, he
That's the
absolutely-
mayor's.
He absolutely said that.
That's the mayor's ninjas.
Because Crispin Glover looking guy was like, don't be surprised when you get
Well,
another visit from the mayor.
Yeah, no, they showed up. I was like, oh, the mayor just messed up.
Yep.
But you have Fennec with you. the shields they are blocking you in with are a person tall. Do this. And
Yeah, just lift someone.
Because she jumps up at one time, and I was like, they're going to do it. Get her on the other side, split them up, and then you have your openings.
Right.
You're both badass enough that you can take them as long as they're not all focused on you.
Right.
If Fennec's behind you,
Well, that's eventually how they
she's
get out.
going to be like,
Yeah.
stabbity, stabbity, stabbity.
Yeah.
But like that would have been a cool moment for her to do a little flippy flip. Here, take my flamethrower, right? Like,
real question is, what was his Gamorrean guards up to that they
were getting hosed
but they
down.
weren't though, because
they were very dry.
Yeah.
remember, Gamorreans aren't that smart.
Yeah.
So maybe they went,
where'd our
wait.
balls go?
No, we could have gotten. We'll be right back.
We're going to get hosed down.
We're gonna go get hosed down.
Have you smelled this?
Because both them Twi'leks, all three of them Twi'leks was hot.
So why doesn't the Jawa just take Fett's helmet?
Right, he just goes for the money, but not
The helmet is like, the helmet's worth more. It's just a Beskar.
You can resell it again because you guys have already
Cobb
sold
Fett
it
would probably
once.
pay you for it.
Because he wasn't unconscious.
I mean, also Cobb Vanth needs a new outfit now.
He needs a whole new suit. He is just terrible at being a crime lord, and it makes me laugh.
I want Cobb Vanth to show up in the show because
I kind of think we might get him.
Because like he's visiting all these, he's the crime lord, and obviously Cobb Vanth is like the marshal to one of the towns. So obviously there's going to be some interaction there that has to.
If the town pays tribute to Jabba, so.
Yeah.
But there's no telling where that town is because that's like out in the middle of the Dune Sea somewhere.
It's busy in the Dune part of the of Tatooine.
He's not. You're right. He's not the greatest boss yet.
No.
Like, are you worried about Wilmer if you run in Mobile?
No,
not really.
no.
Also, what crime lord doesn't know to pay off the officials? And that's really why the mayor wants to pay out. You got to pay the officials when you run the crime. You pay off the cops. You pay off the
right, or they send ninjas at you.
Yeah.
What cops? Like, I can't imagine there's actual law enforcement on Tatooine right now.
Probably not great, but you know.
Did we talk about this yesterday a little bit? So let me get into it.
Yeah.
I think we got into this just because I think this came up. Where are the police in Star Wars?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this did come up
Because
you and Seth talked about this.
Is bounty hunting that lucrative a business where they're like, if you do a crime, we just send a bounty hunter after you
Maybe.
instead of and like
Yeah.
I know like in Mandalorian they've got a judicial system because Bill Burr ends up in space jail.
And we know like the New Republic will come at you.
And I know Cara Dune's a marshal.
And we know at least in the Republic era there was also the clone troopers acted as cops as well, along with the.
But there were but there were soldiers, not really like police.
And then like
local jurisdictions.
you had like planet by planet, you had the jurisdiction.
Like Coruscant has Corsac.
Yeah,
which is
Corsac. Yeah,
right.
And then you got the something similar on Corellia. You got Corellia's.
But what I'm saying, there's a
No, that's
lot.
not what I said.
You said Coruscant.
Right, that's Corsac.
Yeah. Corellia's got something similar.
Yeah,
Type Corellia security.
that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Corellia.
You
Am I
said
saying Coruscant again?
You keep saying Coruscant.
Corin Horn,
Yeah,
his
Corin
dad
Horn. Yeah.
was part of Corsac.
There
Whatever
you go.
planet he was from,
Corellia.
which
Han
is the
Solo's
same one
home.
Han and Wedge are from.
Yeah.
That's where it is.
Coruscant.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but Coruscant also
Having a
has.
brain issue.
Yeah.
And I'm just agreeing with Coruscant moving on. You're like, no, it's Corellia, but you keep saying it.
That's right. And then, like twice, Caleb's like, "Yeah, and Corellia has the same thing." I just said. Did I not just said?
I keep saying Coruscant, buddy.
Master, are you okay?
No. The force is stroked with this one.
And then, but yeah, and Coruscant has something similar. You're right, because they have the police droids.
Right.
Right, but it's like it's weird.
Which are the same as like the football droids.
Yeah.
I think.
Which is weird to me. Bounty hunting is a very lucrative business because I guess there's not enough cops going around. It's a weird thing.
Well, there's a lot of people in the galaxy.
Yeah,
I mean there is, but
you can only do so much.
But like, are there cops on Tatooine? Is what I'm really trying to get out there.
No, because do you think Jabba cares?
Yeah, but if Jabba had to pay people, did Jabba pay off other folks?
That is the question, I guess, that I brought up. Yes.
Right. That's what I'm just coming back to it.
I think he might have had to because like, I mean, I would assume that there would have been other people who wanted power.
Well, in Legends, and you know how I like to not bring up Legends, but in Legends, of course Jabba did, because Jabba played off the Black Sun.
Yeah.
It's a big part of.
But they're not law enforcement; they're crime bosses.
But he also had to pay other people. Also,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to.
Because other crime lords are kind of like, these are our territories. We'll pay each other off to not mess with each other. Which is something that they're dealing with now, because now there's a whole war between the crimes in the comics. All the crime lords are fighting each other.
So since this is a Western, like absolutely slapped in the face Western,
yeah,
just like Mandalorian, maybe it is still Old West style. You get marshals,
right?
Mm-hmm.
So we've got Cobb, we had Kara. Maybe there's a couple marshals, one per city.
Yeah,
that is there to keep the peace, and they're going, you want to know what? And where?
That guy has 6 arms and 5 lasers. I'm not doing that.
Yeah. And so they're probably ineffectual on the take.
Right.
However.
Yep.
So Boba just needs to find the marshal,
and maybe
the one.
Yeah.
Of course, it's going to be Cobb, who's probably a good guy.
Yeah.
And maybe there's a storyline they have to.
Yeah.
Right.
But like maybe
not only am I a good guy and I'm going to put you down, I'm going to take my armor back.
Yeah. But maybe like these marshals are like also like they're being paid off, but they're also in return getting help from the crime lords and going, we're going to give some of our guys to help you kind of clean up a little bit of this that isn't our mess.
Yeah.
Anything that's not our mess we'll help you with.
Yeah.
But if it's our mess, you got to stay away.
Petty crime's got to stop, guys. We just want real crime.
Right. Just murders, man. Just murders.
Murders, drugs, absolutely.
But specific
you
ones.
steal his Walkman, it's over.
Although I don't think Jabba dealt in spice and all that. I think that's specifically the Pikes. That's the Pikes. That's their territory.
Then what did Han dump to get him mad at him? It was spice.
I need to.
Yeah, it was spice.
Yeah. But like, I don't
I was
think.
gonna let him walk into that one.
But like,
I couldn't let him get all the way through the door.
but he should.
You're a good Jedi
But
master.
I bet Jabba would not. He probably had to pay the Pikes a lot for that.
Oh, probably so. Or
Well, we're gonna have to retcon hard to.
Because that's the Pikes' territory. Spice is theirs.
well, yes, they manufacture and they're a major dealer in spice. But it doesn't mean that no one else can do spice.
Do they own Kessel?
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah, Kessel's
they
theirs.
do actually. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Kessel's
actually
there.
a whole thing in Solo where they're like, "Hey, we can't just actively invade Kessel because that wouldn't look great for us." Crimson Dawn. They're like, "We can't do that
Oh.
Yeah.
because the Pikes own that." They literally, they're like, "Yeah, we can't make the Pikes mad."
I don't know. Maybe Jabba got it from the Pikes to give to somebody else.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why, I mean, there's an easy
There's
way around
there's
it.
a way around it, but that's not his main stuff.
No.
I would think.
No, he's got a lot. Well, I mean, even Fett says in this episode, Jabba's empire is fast and it's going to take a lot to manage it.
Yeah,
And so right now, to me, he's like, I know it's off world. I know it's more than Tatooine.
yeah.
And so Tatooine's
Well,
just the base. I guess he's shoring up the foundation before he goes out.
I am curious what other connections they'd have, though, especially with some of the stuff that's in the comics that we now know regarding the Hutt cartel, in that a little bit of spoilers for War of the Bounty Hunter, they don't exist.
That's true.
It's just Jabba at the time.
Yeah, where's Gordula?
Killed.
Was it?
Yeah, basically, during War of the Bounty Hunters, they effed up royally. It turned out that one of the Hutts was working with Crimson Dawn, and Vader annihilated all of the other Hutts besides Jabba
Oh wow!
over that. So
Like all that were crime syndicate. Or?
all that were part of the Hutt cartel
Okay.
family. Yep.
Okay.
I want.
Because Jabba's the only one that was smart and was like, "Nope, I'm leaving. I am not a part of this. You guys are the trouble."
I want. I don't ever think I'd ever want this, but I want Jabba's son to show up.
Yeah, that would be
Booger or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Stinky was the nickname. What's his real name? Roto.
Roto.
Roto the Hutt. I because they introduced him
And then never again.
never again. And I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if he come back to try to reclaim his dad's empire?
Dave Filoni should totally do it. It's your character. Like you and George made this character.
Make it.
And there's your baby.
Right.
Yeah, but he's like, at this point, like what? It's the
From Clone Wars to now, again, he's probably in his
30 late 30s, 20s,
something like that.
Yeah,
Young and man enough to come out to go.
late 20s, early
Slug
30s,
enough
maybe.
to-
Yeah,
Right?
Slug
I
enough.
watched the shit out of that.
Slug up.
I'm
baby.
surprised. I'm surprised he didn't do it when Bib was on the throne, because Bib definitely shouldn't have been on the
No.
throne. He
was, yeah.
How did Bib do that? So
yeah, also Bib apparently sat on the thing whenever he went into town because Finnick's like, yeah, Bib did that too, which is also probably why Bib got so fat.
Yeah,
because he just sat around.
well. Bib, I mean, of course, Bib knew enough about Jabba's empire to keep it running.
And I think that's also why Bib was. While I'm crapping on Bib, he's probably a better boss than Boba is currently.
Because Boba doesn't know what he's doing.
Well, because Boba didn't work his way up the ladder. He went from bounty hunter to I'm the crime boss now, but I did not learn any of the business end of being the crime boss.
But at the same time, when you start a new job, are you perfect your day one?
That's true.
No, but I'm not the CEO on day one.
You haven't tried hard enough. You got to go kill for the CEO for a while, then get swallowed by something big, then
Get swallowed by a sand vagina.
And then kill the next CEO.
Yeah, kill the next CEO, run around with a buddy of yours, then come back and be like, I'm adrift.
So I want to
Yeah.
table back to what I wanted to talk to earlier.
Yeah.
Because before we get off tangent and not get to it.
Getting off the tangent, we'll
so
get back on track.
again, as I mentioned, I am in love with the Sand People because of the Native allegory. As a Native American, I am fully on board with this. However, I almost asked Pablo this, but I had a tweet set out for it, and then I realized that I don't think they know. So in Legends, the reason why the Sand People are called Tusken Raiders is because they raided Fort Tusken, slaughtered a bunch of people, and all the moisture farmers and the settlers called them Tusken Raiders. That's how the name comes out. They're also called Sand People because they live in the sand.
Yeah.
So my question is, what do they call each other? And that's what you should call them.
We cannot pronounce what they call each
Yeah.
other.
Right, but
Because I'm not going to be like every time on this
but-
podcast when the
No, but means something.
Yes.
Right. It translates to something.
Yes.
So it needs. So
We need a basic translation.
We just need someone to say, well, do they address themselves as sand people? Which is fine because there are native cultures on this planet that go by, like the rubber tree people. And So we've got.
How amazing would it be that each little group, though, has their own name?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you have the Iroquois, you have the Algonquin, you have
Creek.
the Creek, you
Don't
have
throw my people
the
out.
Apache, you have the
Absolutely.
Navajo.
I think that's great. And that to me
It'd
would be
good.
authentic.
It would also be good
Authentic.
world building.
Absolutely.
We're the third hill on the left, or third dune on the left tribe.
Yeah.
Well, as long as, but
Okay.
I want to know what they're called because to me, both Tusken and Sand People
Are
both
not great.
does seem problematic.
I do apologize, by the way. You obviously found where I grew up and got my history from in
Yeah.
upstate New York. When
Absolutely,
I'm like,
but it's
Iroquois.
absolutely, but you know those Mohawk, you know those tribes up there. So, which hey, I'm thrilled anyone knows other tribes besides Apache.
Yeah.
and so, or Cherokee. Everyone knows Cherokee. Navajo.
Yeah.
What other things are named after cars? You know, Jeep Cherokee.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I just want a Navajo taco. It's so good.
but I'm curious about, and if I ever get a chance to even have a minute with Favreau, that's the thing I'd like to talk to him about. It's just like, you know,
I feel like him and Dave know, but they don't.
I don't think John knows. I don't think it's on. It doesn't seem to me like it's on their radar.
No.
However, if anyone who's like may have thought of it, Dave.
Yeah.
I think Dave was the guy who's like.
You don't think they've had this conversation?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think Dave might.
I think if they had this conversation, it would have been addressed. It's not a. It's not
I
a.
don't know.
Maybe it's next episode once he starts becoming.
Maybe.
Well,
maybe.
because
But to me,
well, also Dave doesn't like to say everything that he knows.
right, and so it's.
And so,
And I know George never thought of that. George
No.
just was like, these are
and Dave never got to ask him because they weren't doing Tuskens on Clone Wars.
right, and it's not a, it's just a throwaway alien for like most of the aliens in New Hope. They're not a Wookiee or a.
Yeah.
Well, they're not a Wookiee, really, honestly.
Yeah.
And after that, it's just whatever.
Yeah.
George doesn't really care after that.
Yeah.
Right. And which is not his fault because he's got
No.
vast world he's building, but the rest of it's more human based than anything, and so the aliens kind of get they get expanded on in the expanded universe. Not a dig, just the truth. And so for me, while watching it, I was really excited just to know, like, at the end of the day, what would they like to be called? And so it's just
So here's my question then: are they human under there?
Legends.
In Legends, sure.
In Legends, a couple people, but there's still a native race from the majority.
I think they're humanoid or
Yeah,
near
they are humanoid, yeah.
or near human if you're playing the RPG. And so I think they're bipedal and skinned
Yeah.
and like
But I just are they a offshoot of human that colonized there 20,000 years ago, and that's just their evolution,
right.
You know
They're
what
just
I mean?
adapted to living that way.
Adaptation, evolution. I don't
Yeah.
know what the right term in that sense is, but yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So but I just think
The mysteries of the Star Wars
however,
universe.
I'm loving to see how the culture's developing, and I hope. I mean, while I don't think it's good for the show to dwell too much on the past of this. I don't need all 6 episodes to be about him.
It's only 6.
yeah, it's 7.
Seven. I don't. So the 6 remaining. I don't need the 6 remaining to be like Dances with Wolves the entire time because realistically I've signed up for
I've signed up
for the Godfather.
Yeah, for Godfather. Yeah,
A Western Godfather.
Right, yeah.
because that's what the trailers presented.
And so that's what I've signed up for. I love this other stuff.
Yeah.
I will be felt misled otherwise.
Yeah. I think maybe 1 or 2 more episodes of it. Nothing. Don't go past 3 episodes of it.
I think we just get the one. I think we get.
I think
the next one is they've acceptance to him getting out and meeting.
Yeah.
Seeing Din in the
Yeah.
I think it'll just catch us
I think
up.
we just
Yeah.
like a 2-parter. Technically, because I know they'll probably mix it like they did this last episode. So it's basically 1 full episode of him with the Tuscans, 1 full episode of him being a crime boss, and they just cut up and put it into 2 episodes.
Yeah. Like the only way I'll be okay with them going past what I've said is if they're doing more seasons. But this is, as far as we know, this is a limited run.
No, I think they'll do more.
But I think they will too. But as far as we know from what they've said so far, it's a limited series. So treat it as such until you tell me more is coming.
You get a 4 to 6 hour movie done.
I'm good with it. I'm good with it.
However long the episode.
As long as
the first one was 30 minutes.
As long
or
as they
something
stick
like
the
that.
landing, they just got to stick the ending. They just got to if they're going to make it finite, they just got to make it interesting.
Yeah.
What?
You gave me a something didn't stick the landing for me this year or the last year. So but it's not Star Wars. So
What is
okay.
it? What is it?
Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time didn't stick the landing. I didn't watch it, so
I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. It's on my radar, but
Have you ever read the books?
Nope.
I have, yeah.
Okay.
And I actually gifted Justina the first one.
Okay.
Oh.
So I'm not going to go any farther than my take on the 8 episodes.
Right.
Episode 1, I was optimistically cautious, or cautiously optimistic,
Right.
however you want to put it.
Yeah.
2 through 7, once I accepted 1, 2 through 7 are amazing. Like,
Because I know 1 is hard to accept because I heard there's a big change.
there's a lot, and once you accept that it's not, that they have to adapt 1,000 pages into 8 hours.
Yep.
Once you get that, 2 through 7 are amazing. 1's even good. 8 made me go, what?
Oh.
How? Like, how are you going to move on from this? And I understand some of it, but not all of it.
Right.
And so, like, my ride was very excited. This show was coming out to, I'm not as mad as most that have read it.
Right.
Yep.
To loving it. Huh? Still looking forward.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
But-
season 2, hopefully
like-
they explain
But, like,
the thing.
But you've read them all?
not all. I'm kind
Then
of.
I can't even say anything.
Oh, okay.
Again, we'll go on.
Cool.
Okay.
Go.
But I loved Wheel of, like, that was my 90s.
It's on my list. The
Yeah.
Wheel of
My
Time
90s was
Witcher.
reading these and waiting for the next one to come out at Books A Million.
Right.
Like, the night, like, it was my Harry Potter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
So,
I've got a.
Okay.
and then freaking out when Robert Jordan died
Yeah.
and going, and then finding out about this Brandon
Sanderson,
guy
yeah.
and reading the first one he did and going, mostly okay, but he forgot, he doesn't know how that character's supposed to act, but he fixed it in the next one. Like,
Yeah.
it was a fun nostalgia ride.
Yep.
No one's great on their first day.
No.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
Which I may title this episode.
But anyway,
Yeah. Well, now you sold me on the show in a weird way, so now I'm gonna watch it.
I would absolutely. And if you want to talk when you're done with each episode, message me. because you've read book 1.
Yeah.
So you know how episode or season 1 goes.
Yeah.
And I will give you my theories on why they did things. And that's how I was able to get through it.
Yeah.
Why did they change this? Ooh, because then they could do this.
Right.
Yeah.
Why didn't they do this? Because that's not that important to
I
the
think
story.
I think
You know?
also the good thing of making a show after all the books are out,
Yeah.
something that while I'm okay with how Game of Thrones
Right.
went,
You don't have to.
you don't have that issue of we got to come up with it with the author telling us kind of what's going
Right.
on, but we don't have the full picture.
Yeah.
Whereas now they have the full picture and they can put clues in season 1 that is down the line.
Yeah. I'm still. Now I'm back to cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
Where I was, and like it had the biggest opening of Amazon ever.
Right.
Like more than all of their other things
Yep.
that they put out combined.
Right. I heard
And it's got like an 80 on critics rating and 75 or 6 on Rotten
Which
Tomatoes.
that's still good.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. Like
cool.
So
You sold me.
I'm good. I just
my
and if you haven't read it, you'll be like, "This is awesome."
Right.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say from that standpoint is I wish they had given season 1 more money, but it was already like $3 million an episode.
Right.
But it has
Which I'm curious how that's going to affect
better
Lord of the
than-
Rings.
Better than Shannara and Buffy effects,
Right.
but not quite Game of Thrones effects.
Yeah.
Right.
Which it needs in some points.
Right.
But you get used
Yeah,
to it.
I get used.
So
Which-
I think they're going to throw a lot of money in season 2.
Which makes me wonder what they're going to do with Lord of the Rings now. Are they going to boost that budget, or are they going to?
I don't know. I thought of that too, but there's also not as much magic in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's a little more.
It's more set pieces.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Now that we've super tangented, but not funny tangent, actual nerd stuff.
Yeah,
tangent.
I'm all for
So,
it. I'm all
yeah.
for it. Let's do trivia.
Okay.
Okay.
There's not a lot of it.
Yeah.
Because it's just a short episode and it's only been out for a couple days. So the Gamorrean guards, right?
Mhm.
They're bare chested and look weird. And you know why?
Mm-mm.
Because that's the original look that they were designed to look like. And they couldn't do the prosthetics good enough in '83 to make them look like that. So they put the armor on them. To bulk them up in Jedi. So they're bringing them back to the original vision what Gamorrean guards should be.
Like, oh, they got these buff looking.
See, I didn't think they looked weird. I thought
No.
they looked like strongmen.
yeah.
Like actual strongmen, not not
Whereas
fake.
whereas the other
show muscles.
whereas the other Gamorreans kind of look. I guess when the armor's on, they look a little more chunky.
Yeah, they look chunky. They're a little chunky, and
Yeah.
so
and they
but,
had that weird booty.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm like they're pig guys, right? They're
Yeah.
supposed to be chunky. So
Yeah.
so
But now they're
Like-
world's strongest man,
Which
with a big
makes
head.
which makes sense though,
Right.
because
Which is okay.
Which makes sense because if you're gonna have a bunch of these guys as your guard and they're the same like race, you're gonna want
shit. I'm sorry, I didn't mention that. I'm sorry, we forgot a whole other thing that we didn't talk about. Max fucking Rebo.
Oh yeah, Max
Right?
Rebo.
and one of the Biff.
Yeah,
Yep.
but Max Rebo was on the sail barge.
I guess he survived.
Maybe it's his cousin.
Maybe he survived.
No, we talked about this way back earlier this past season of the regular show, but there's that robot chicken where Max Rebo survives and he's just trying to get to the
Yeah.
I don't care what you say. That's canon now. That's how it happened.
You know what else is? The Patton Oswalt filibuster.
Right, the fat ball of the filibuster. So it's like
I want-
Hand down the twin sons of
That's
Tatooine.
Yeah.
but it's like ain't no one gonna miss a you never miss a gig. Never can.
And did you listen though? The music was "Mad About Me,"
Yeah.
Right.
but reimagined.
It
Yeah.
is, so one of the band members, the Figure and Dan guy,
Yeah.
the Biff,
That one,
Yeah.
the one of the band member is playing a modified
Version of
the
the
modal nodes.
right, but he's playing a modified Gittler guitar. First appeared in the 1970s. These skeletal guitars never really caught on. An original version are rare and valuable. In recent years, limited edition reissues have been produced. So it's an actual guitar he's playing.
I wonder though if they rebranded the band name because now it's a mixture of two different bands because it's Max Rebo and
Right.
like
Figure
they're-
and Rebo.
yeah,
Max Dan.
It's probably like
and a lot
it's
of their band members are dead now. So like,
it's probably like a side project for them. It's their version of the traveling
I
wheelbarrows.
was gonna say it's their.
it's when
it's their
Snice
hunger-
Noodles is
it's
being
their-
really rude and they don't like she's the Yoko Ono.
It's their hunger strike.
They're hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Temple of the Dog.
Yeah, it's Temple of the Dog. It's
Yeah.
you've got Max and Figrin
Right,
together.
I may have to go back and take that scene out and then like put that song in there. I'm going hungry. I might do that. The Sand People's Rodian prisoner uses the same redskin mask as Chewie, one of the Cloud Raiders in solo Star Wars stories. The Rodian, his mask and costume were also used in Mandalorian Chapter 1 and Mandalorian Chapter 3. So that Rodian's mask gets around.
Oh, I bet it smells.
When Boba Fett escapes the Sarlacc pit, he is missing his cape and Wookiee braids from the shoulder pauldron of his armor due to the digestive enzyme of the Sarlacc.
Okay, so it has been in there maybe a little bit if it's chewed through that.
So he needs new Wookiee stuff. That's why.
The six-limbed creature that Boba fights in the desert is based on the Green Martians of the planet Barsoom from John Carter's book series by Edgar Wright Burroughs. Tatooine City is cited as inspired by Barsoom. The creature is very similar to the Spitapillar that appears on the Tatooine aboard a Sandcrawler in the game Super Star Wars from 1992 for the SNES.
Nice.
Yeah, so it looks like Goro.
Yeah.
According to Daniel Logan, all the scenes of young Boba Fett from Episode 2 Attack of the Clones are original takes from the famous helmet scene, except the last one over the shoulder, which is completely new and made for the episode.
Oh.
Where's his head?
We did this.
I know.
It felt. Wait, yeah. So there is a scene. There is a shot where you see it fall out.
There's a cartoon where it goes that I've seen, but I've never seen the scene where it falls out.
We did this.
I don't remember.
Oh
this.
no! When he cuts it, it.
Okay.
When Mace cuts it,
I'll
it
show
falls
you.
out.
It falls.
Yeah.
We did this.
We talked about this.
I know we've talked about it,
Because it's
but
still
it's a good time to bring it up again because they haven't listened to that one. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they might.
Well,
not
Joe
have.
may have.
So we're watching.
Yeah, we're watching the part where
So Mace,
just kid lost his lightsaber.
right? So Django comes after.
Nope.
All right.
Little Ronto comes back.
Yeah, Ronto comes back.
Stomps all over Django. Ruins his jetpack.
Poor Tamara Morrison.
Jetpacks are not great for this family.
This is actually one of the better parts of this movie.
Yeah. Well, I like 2/3 of a movie.
I like 1/3 of this film.
Well, I like the mystery movie, and then I like this.
Head.
You see the shadow.
There's a shadow. Yeah.
Okay.
Head.
Okay. I've never seen that before. I've never had it stopped right there. That's good.
Head.
Yep. So
So there.
it's implied heavily.
So it doesn't have to go because it's already it's on the ground.
Yeah.
Because you want to talk about scarred Boba.
Right.
Well, I mean, I think he's already scarred. He watched it.
But double.
I get where you're going.
like you got to imagine that Boba saw his dad's head fly out of that helmet when it came off.
It's probably like looking at him while he's looking at the helmet.
Because he's like he's thinking, "Oh, my dad's totally gonna get this guy." Yeah, Dad. Get him, Dad.
Alrighty. Anyway.
Oh, poor Daniel Logan.
He's better than the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
In the 1996 book Tales from Jabba's Palace, which is one of the few I've read,
Uh-huh.
Boba Fett escapes from the Sarlacc pit is described in a similar fashion. The difference is that Boba established a telepathic link with one of the Sarlacc's previous victims who can assert some control over the pit. He convinces it to contact his jetpack, causing him to explode and freeing him from its clutches. He then uses concussion grenades to blow holes in the beast and makes his escape. So
And then Dengar.
Dengar, which I'm sad.
Yeah, because it's
we've talked about this before, but there's a couple things I want to see coming forward. There's no reason Simon Pegg can't do Dengar in this show.
Nah.
Just bring him in.
And like Dengar,
Why Simon Pegg?
Because Simon Pegg did the voice of Dengar in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
also Dengar is like in a decent decent friendship with Boba at the moment.
I mean, they don't kill each other. So.
Yeah.
Right. But
He likes Dengar more than other bounty hunters.
right.
Okay.
And so it'd be cool to see Dengar show.
would. I mean,
Yeah.
and I'd like to see Simon
Pegg
Pegg's
as Dengar.
face,
Right.
instead of just one.
Also, we
I'm
saw the wrong
watching.
Trandoshan. We need Bosk.
We need a boss.
Boss has got to be dead.
No, he's alive, I think.
Should be.
Well, we've got 6 more episodes. We'll
Yeah.
see.
Well,
There's so much.
Bosk may be dead because Bosk is at Jabba's palace.
Oh, yeah.
Bosk, Dengar, Fett,
Just because they're at the palace doesn't mean they're dead.
they're all there. But I think Bosk is actually on the sail barge.
Oh,
I have to go back and watch
that's the
Jedi, but I
difference,
think
yeah.
Bosk is actually on the sail barge.
Yeah.
I know he's at the.
Well, he can
when
heal.
Luke falls into the pit, he's there.
He can heal
So
'cause
is Dengar.
He can heal because
Which I didn't know for you
Yeah.
till just in the last couple of years
Yeah.
that it was pointed
depending on the damage he could heal because Bosk has
reptiles.
in canon lost his legs
Yeah.
and they've regrown and all that.
Technically, IG-8's in pieces on Tatooine.
Yeah,
So.
and
What,
yeah.
in from Shadows?
No,
He was in the game.
he was in the game.
Yeah.
So
Because you had to fight. Oh, God, that fight sucked.
Anytime fighting like a bounty hunter in a game.
Yeah.
Boba Fett was the worst because he's just flying and you're like, I guess I'll use my missiles that I
Right.
only have 8 of.
Right.
And they barely do damage to
I
Boba.
love fighting Fett in the Star Wars arcade game. Remember the stand-up one that was usually like in a movie theater,
Yeah.
and but you got the first one you really got to use a lightsaber, and you have to fight Fett who's flying above the,
Mhm.
and then you knock him off into the Starlight Pit with not Han, so like I'm better than you, Han.
Oh.
Force baby.
Yeah.
That game's fun. It's been a long time since I've
And then
played it.
I just finished going through Dark Forces 1, and you fight Boba Fett there.
Cool.
So a lot of Boba Fett appearances over the years.
Yeah.
I also need Shizor. They dropped Shizor in the comics, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
they did.
I need Shizor.
Yep, I
and
showed
need,
you. Like we talked about that, and you're like, oh yeah.
I need Shizor, and I need
And people are thinking the
Emma Clark.
yeah, Amelia Clark, the
Amelia
Crimson
Clark.
Dawn.
Yeah, what's her name?
It's now you made me forget.
I
Right.
know.
I'm looking right at her. I don't.
Where?
No, they're like in my brain.
Kira.
Oh,
Kira. I need
Kira.
Kira.
Which
Kira.
makes sense because going back to some stuff in the episode, in the flashback, we see the Nikto that are terrorizing this one homestead,
right.
and they start painting this symbol, and it looks like the Vermilion.
Yeah, I was like,
And a lot of fans have picked up on that, and they're thinking, "Oh, is a late villain in the season going to be Crimson Dawn?"
so is it?
Because Crimson Dawn is making a big comeback right now in the comics. Currently, post Empire Strikes Back, Crimson Dawn turns out they've been infesting inside everything.
So we've-
Empire, everything. They're in everything, and it turns out that they're also behind the Knights of Ren. Like they're funding them. They're funding a lot of groups, and
Okay.
and so
Is it Nikto in the first Mandalorian episode? It's not Weequay.
I think it's Nick too.
I think
yeah.
it's Nikto. So maybe Crimson Dawn had a hand in holding Grogu.
Maybe.
I mean, it's forever. We're bringing it full circle.
I want to go back and watch. Maybe there's graffiti somewhere in there.
Because who knows how long they've been thinking about this.
Right.
Because the story group exists for
Well,
this
also-
reason.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Also, remember that part is 5 years before Grogu and Mandalorian, right?
yes.
Yes.
So that flashback.
Yeah, that flashback is before.
But who knows how long they've had him?
And true, and there's no telling. I don't think this is going to tie back into.
No, but
I don't
main-
think it's going to directly tie
main
into the
Mando
Mandalorian.
story.
Yeah.
No, but it'd be interesting.
But
to be
Easter
like,
eggs.
Easter eggs, right? I'm all see. That's why I like this stuff. I like a main story, but I don't like the stuff on the side.
Yeah.
It's all fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's on Wikipedia it is Nikto hideout
Yeah,
for
so-
in chapter 1 of Mando. So,
Okay.
I thought it was Nikto. I couldn't remember if it was Nikto.
so it is
or,
the Nikto. So
or Clatonians.
So,
It's
yeah.
either one or the other.
yeah,
We need
'cause-
Vratazinians.
yeah, just no Vong.
They don't have a Verada. They do have a Brorada.
I know, but you have
Yeah.
Klaatu, Vrata, Niktu.
Right.
And
We
then-
need the.
And then you got Dantooine, Tatooine.
That's yes, but different.
Yeah,
I just want the Book of the Dead.
Right.
yeah,
Which they got their words from Day the Earth Stood Still.
yeah.
That's where it comes from.
Yep.
So,
Which, to be fair, that's probably where
To be fair.
George got it from.
to be fair. Speaking of which, have you caught up on Letterkenny?
Not yet. I gotta watch that. And I didn't realize Cobra Kai came out like yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got a bunch to watch now.
Yeah,
Yep.
I got a bunch to watch. And then we have a new episode Wednesday. And
Yep.
so that's only 2 days from now. And so we'll be back next Monday for Mando Mondays.
Woo!
So this is Sky saying this is our contribution to the multiverse. God, make yours! And may the Force be with you.
I knew you were gonna say that.
And I still have nothing to say.
This is the way.
You should just end with General Kenobi. You start with hello there.
General
Just like General Kenobi.
You know what? Next time.
Cool. All right. So do me a favor. When you stop this one, start downloading it to my system.